June 15th, 1991. It was nighttime. Silence was spread everywhere. Suddenly, the sound of police vehicles echoed through the street. The sharp noise of sirens tore through the darkness. The cars stopped in front of an old house. The windows of the house were broken. The door was half open, and a strange cold air was coming from inside. As the police entered the house, they saw a girl sitting on the floor. Her hands were trembling. Her eyes were red, and her face had turned pale with fear. That girl's name was Veronika. She was only 15 years old. Crying, she said, "Please save my brother. Someone is coming to take him." The police couldn't understand what she was saying. But the fear in her eyes was not ordinary fear. From here, the story goes back. 3 days earlier. That day, the atmosphere at school felt different. In the classroom, the teacher was telling the students, "Today there is a solar eclipse." In ancient times, people feared dark forces on this day. All the students were preparing to go to the rooftop to watch the eclipse. But Veronika and her two friends silently looked at each other, and without telling anyone, they headed straight toward the school basement. The basement was always cold and dark. The walls were damp, and the air felt heavy. Veronika took out an old wooden board from her bag. Strange symbols were carved on it. It was a spirit board. The three girls sat on the floor in a circle. Candles were lit. A yellow light spread across the room. A glass was placed in the center of the board. All three placed their fingers on it. In a low voice, Veronika said, "If there is any spirit present here, come forward." For a few seconds, nothing happened. The room fell silent. Then suddenly, the air turned cold. The candle flame began to flicker.
Oh my God.
The glass slowly started moving on its own.
What was that?
Veronika's breathing grew faster. Her finger slipped. The glass shattered. Blood flowed from her finger and dropped directly onto the board. The moment the blood touched the board, all the lights in the room burst at once. A loud noise echoed. The walls began to shake. Veronika suddenly screamed and collapsed unconscious onto the floor. At that moment, without anyone knowing, a dark force had stepped into this world, and that very force was about to turn Veronika's life into hell. Veronika's eyes slowly open. A strange ringing echoes in her ears. She finds herself in the school's medical room. A nurse is standing in front of her. The nurse says, "You suddenly fainted. Maybe your body was weak." Veronika nods, but deep inside, she feels something has gone terribly wrong. As she steps outside the school, her eyes suddenly look upward. On the school rooftop, a nun dressed in black is standing, staring directly at Veronika. Without blinking, Veronika's heart starts racing. Terrified, she rushes home. As soon as she reaches home, she hugs her younger brother tightly. A strange uneasiness surrounds her. In the evening, when she sits down to eat, the moment she lifts a bite to her mouth, she feels someone grabbing her hand. The spoon falls. Her breathing stops. She looks at her hands. Red claw-like marks appear on her skin. That night, strange sounds begin echoing inside the house. Knocking from the walls, scraping sounds from the floor. Veronika can't sleep out of fear. The next morning,
She takes her little brother to the bathroom to bathe him.
as soon as she turns on the water, the lights begin flickering. She hears footsteps behind her. Terrified, she walks into the living room. She sees the candle lighting and extinguishing on its own. Suddenly, the door slams shut. Panicked, Veronika runs back toward the bathroom. But it's already too late. The water has turned extremely hot. Her little brother is screaming in pain. She pulls him out. Burn marks cover his body. Crying, she says, "I'm so sorry." Her brother, trembling, replies, "Sister, it wasn't your fault." That night, as Veronika lies in her room, she feels someone watching her. She slowly opens her eyes and sees a black shadow standing on the wall. The shadow slowly moves toward her. She wants to scream, but her voice gets stuck in her throat. The next day at school, she tries to talk to her two friends, but both stay away from her in fear. Veronika wants answers, so she goes alone to the basement. There, she meets the same nun, the one she saw on the rooftop. A white cloth covers the nun's eyes. She is blind. The nun softly says, "You are not alone. I understand what is happening to you." Trembling, Veronika asks, "What is happening to me?" The nun replies, "The door you opened, a dark spirit has escaped through it. It has attached itself to you, and it will harm your family. Tears fall from Veronika's eyes. The nun continues. If you want to stop it, you must finish what you left incomplete. Veronika now understands. This was not just fear. It was a real curse. Hearing the nun's words, Veronika's body begins to shake. Her heart pounds loudly. She asks softly, "How can I stop it?" The nun stays silent for a moment, then says in a heavy voice, "The door you opened, you must be the one to close it. The spirit board ritual was left incomplete. You never told the spirit to leave until you open the door again and say goodbye. It will continue to wander in this world." Terrified, Veronika asks, "What if I fail?" The nun replies calmly, "Then this dark force will leave no one in your house alive." Veronika runs back home, her siblings' faces racing through her mind. She begins drawing holy symbols on every wall, near every door, above every window. She hopes this will protect her family. But that night, something else is about to happen. While hanging clothes, she sees a black shadow standing in the neighbor's window, its eyes glowing, staring straight at her. She rushes to her brother's room, but as soon as she opens the door, the same shadow appears on the wall. It stretches out its hand, and all the holy symbols burn into ashes. Her brother screams, as if someone pushed him. He cries, "Sister, you hit me!" The ground slips beneath Veronika's feet. That night, she makes all her siblings sleep beside her. The temperature drops. Breath turns into mist. Dark shadows cover the walls. She grips a cross tightly. The door slowly opens. She thinks it's over, but her mother stands there, angry. "Stop this madness. You're scaring the children." Veronika says nothing, because she knows the danger is real. That night, she dreams someone is cutting her body. She wakes up screaming. Blood stains cover the bed. She realizes her first period has begun. As she lifts the mattress, she sees burned symbols underneath. The same symbols are under her. Veronika can't wait anymore. If she does nothing today, her family won't survive tomorrow. She returns to school and meets the blind nun again. The nun says, "When I was young, I saw the same shadows. I lost my eyes to fear, but the darkness still lives inside me." She turns toward Veronika. "If you truly want to save your family, tonight you must open the final door." Veronika asks her friends for help. They refuse. One of them cries, "That day you whispered in my ear that I would die in 5 days." Veronika doesn't even remember saying it. She returns home and decides to include her brother in the ritual. She gives him a book of holy symbols, but he accidentally opens the wrong page. The symbols summon dark forces. The air grows heavy. Candles ignite on their own. Veronika rebuilds the broken spirit board, places the glass. With trembling voice, she says, "Whoever you are, go back." A loud laugh echoes. Candles extinguish. Doors slam shut. The glass slides toward the door. Suddenly, her brother levitates into the air. Veronika screams and calls the police. My brother's life is in danger. And the story returns to the present. She searches the bathroom, finds her brother, lifts him and runs. But in the mirror, her arms are empty. It was an illusion. She returns inside. Objects flying everywhere. Her brother hides in the closet, crying, "I won't go with you." In the broken mirror, she sees the black shadow behind her, and she finally understands the evil spirit was inside her. Everything happened through her, without her realizing it. To save her family, there was only one way. She must end herself. She steps forward, but an invisible force lifts her, slams her against the wall. At that moment, police break in. Veronika falls to the ground. She's taken to the hospital. Later, the doctor says she is no longer in this world. A detective receives a call. Veronika's photograph catches fire. 5 years later, the case file reads, "Caused paranormal incident." But the question remains, Was the darkness truly destroyed? Or did it move into another body,